What it is, for you already know what it is. Your boy K the fucking X. We in the dungeon. You already know we about to get into it. We got the craziest shit. These these niggas that said on interviews. I almost cursed. They got the craziest shit these niggas that said on interviews. Fuck it, we in the building. You hear me? Fuck it, I'm gonna cuss today. I'm unsensitizing this shit today. No more buttons. Come on. What I'm gonna tell you? Feed me. Let's get it, baby. Now, some real shit. You in the dungeon with your boy K the fucking X. And I'm about to tell you, dude, sit back, chill, kick it, vibe out, hit me in the comment box, hit me in the chat. Right here, scroll up, I'm looking at it, you feel me? I'm gonna comment back, hit that like button, help me in the algorithm, hit that subscribe button. You already know who it is, man. We get 20 reds, it's about that time, it's real nigga time, it's RN time, you feel me? Look, enough said. Let's get into the crazy shit these rappers said in interviews.
I like when you like this, Daddy. I like that.
He told me to take me shopping.
That?
What'd you just say?
What?
He said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah.
Hold
You
up.
thought he needed some.
I meant to tell y'all something. If you ain't got you one of these, you better roll you one up, sit back and chill, light it up, and we about to get into it. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, help your boy get to 50K, feed me, 50K subs. You already know it's your boy K the fuck X, how we do it over here, dog.
Clothes.
This nigga
What?
Diddy weird.
Got nothing against some of them that can rap,
daddy.
but I care about us more. I don't want to go through, I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want to...
You are happy 24/7. That is a lie.
That gotta be a lie.
There aren't that many moments that capture pure chaos, unfiltered drama, and outright insane moments in hip-hop history. But these rappers' interviews were crazy. And this was the case when Birdman joined the Breakfast Club. See, Birdman had a bit of an issue with Charlamagne himself. And of course, Birdman being Birdman, he immediately let Charlamagne know about it.
Sir, I want to start this shit off straight, telling all three of y'all stop playing with my name.
Ooh.
Let's go on there. Let's go.
Big
Stop
boy.
playing with my
I had to stop.
After sitting
I had to
down,
stop
Birdman
doing what
once
I was
again
doing. You see how he pressed that moment? He's like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Stop playing my bird. Yo, don't sleep on Birdman. He might got that soft ass voice. Don't sleep on that dog.
Reiterated his point.
My name come up,
to
respect
that
it.
bar.
Let's go.
Yo said my name come up, respect it.
If you've ever dreamed of owning an apartment complex and you
Bro,
live near one of
Diddy
these
hit me
cities,
with an ad.
then
That
you've
was
got
a
to see
long
the same
time.
ad that I
Chat.
saw 3 years ago. It was
Hit that like
Go.
button,
Stop
that
playing with
subscribe
my
button.
fucking name.
Help me.
All
and
three of
help
y'all.
me.
Stop
them
playing with
ads.
my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
Angela's face after that only exemplified how everyone in the room was feeling at the moment. But when the interview officially began, Charlamagne asked Birdman why he was so angry, and Birdman pretty much
boy
remained
went
hostile and aggressive.
We got a special guest in the building.
He done cursed us out. Tell him, get it off your chest.
And one thing about the Breakfast Club boys, I'm gonna tell you why I call them the Breakfast Club boys. That Breakfast Club shit right there is called for butt. They booty club boys. Them niggas, they ain't, man, look, they probably got a kid, a wife and all that, man. They play with each other butts over there on that Breakfast Club. Go ask Charlamagne. Go ask Slice can do that, can't think his name right now. I'm turned, you feel me? And I'll call y'all out. Ask on the podcast. We can talk about it. We can chop it up.
That's Birdman.
Said it already. I ain't gotta talk.
Birdman then escalated the situation by saying he could have pulled up on Charlamagne at any time, anywhere, but he chose to confront him during the interview because apparently it wouldn't be gangster to pull up on him anywhere else.
I wanted to talk to you on your man in your face.
Absolutely.
You understand me? I knew a few places you was at. You could have pulled up, but I don't think that was gangster.
I mean, Birdman just straight up admitted he planned on actually putting a hit on Charlamagne.
I wanted to come look you in your face like a man and tell you how I feel.
Okay.
You understand me? Straight up like a man.
So what's the
Like
issue?
a man.
Ain't no issue. If it was an issue, you'll feel me. I just come to
stand
let
on
y'all know,
TV
stop,
like a man.
put some respect on my name.
Put some
Birdman
respect
even
on
took
that
his
name,
glasses
you heard
off to let them know he was serious. But all things considered, it's
Put
great
some
Birdman
respect
chose
on
to
his
check
name.
Charlamagne in public and in his own house on the Breakfast Club instead of anywhere private, because who knows what he would have done then. However,
Whooped
the
him. Gave
real
him
reason
beats.
Birdman was so mad was just before this interview happened, the Breakfast Club interviewed Rick Ross and Trick Daddy. And during both of those interviews, they would call out Birdman for how he treats his artists, particularly Cash Money's main moneymaker, Lil Wayne. So Charlamagne got the gist that Birdman was pissed because Ross and Trick called him out on their radio show, and he brought up this interesting point.
Did you pull up on Ross that way or Trick Daddy?
And I'm pulling up on you.
Yeah, but I'm the radio guy. Why pull up on the radio guy? Don't act tough with the radio guy.
Which was actually a valid question. Interestingly enough,
Pause, chat. Let this be a known fact. It won't matter who you is. That guy right there is gonna pull up on you. He gonna pull up, show out, and allegedly.
Birdman didn't answer this question at all. Rick Ross and Trick Daddy were the ones who called him out, so why not confront them instead of the radio show they were on? And apparently this question was too much for Birdman because after this, he promptly left the interview, cutting it short. However, before he walked out, he left this now iconic
Smart
line.
man,
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Charlemagne would then
About to tell
dub
you
this
what he
moment
did.
as the
Smart
That's
man.
it. Quickest Breakfast Club interview ever.
Shortly after, this video went viral. Birdman may not have thought this whole thing was funny, but everyone else certainly did. The next walkout happened during Adam 22's No Jumper podcast. You see, Cuban Doll, an infamous female rapper, showed up for an interview with Adam 22 for what may have seemed like a run-of-the-mill No Jumper episode. However, what no one expected was that this interview was going to be nothing but dramatic. From the moment Cuban Doll arrived on the set, it wasn't long before things started to fall apart. Right from the get-go, she was speaking barely above a whisper, making it hard for anyone to even catch what she was saying.
You gotta be more specific with me.
When I look
I
at
dropped out of school early.
you dropped
I thought
out
she
of
said
school
something
early.
else with a P.
Okay, that's not what we're talking about.
You need to say how words go
You're a
better.
little off.
And despite Adam trying his best to keep things flowing, Cuban seemed out of sync with the entire situation, and she also seemed out of touch with the reality during the interview. This led to many fans speculating that she may have been under the influence during the interview, though nothing was ever confirmed.
God, that mic is a real thing. It's either way too sensitive or not enough.
You need to get your shit together.
I don't know. I think it's your weird, like, varied tone. Like, you go from really loud to really quiet.
However, the mood of the interview changed when Adam poked around Cuban's relationship status.
Your relationship status right now?
My relationship status. I'm in a relationship.
With who?
Okay.
I just wish this mic would pick you up better.
But that's not all. Adam
Yeah,
also
she
tried to
found
ask
out
whether she got
something.
back with her
One of them
ex-boyfriend,
pills. I
Tato,
can let you
Chief
know that
Keef's
right
best
now,
friend,
Jack.
and someone she had previously accused of doing some very heinous things to her.
Is it Tata?
No.
Why not? What happened? Can you turn her mic up?
I'm not laughing at that
I'm
man
having a hard
myself.
time picking her
I'm
up.
saying the thought.
Naturally, this was a sensitive topic for Cuban, especially since she had only spoken about these allegations a few months before the interview. Cuban would eventually say she was just in a relationship with the guy at the moment, but he was anonymous and didn't have clout.
It just needs to be more sensitive. Who's your boyfriend?
My boyfriend is anonymous.
He's anonymous?
Yeah.
No clout?
Okay.
No clout.
I'm about to
Shut
say.
up.
He regular.
Adam quickly countered that he could never see her in a relationship with a person with no clout due to her dating history.
See if she
I
get
don't
that
think I can
regular
see you
thing
being
later
with a
on.
guy like that.
Why not?
Because every guy I've seen you associated with seems
Oh
like...
my god.
What? Oh, that's
It's
way...
with the fake news.
No.
Now, throughout this interview, Adam had a hard time picking up anything Cuban was saying, so he and his sound guys kept adjusting the sensitivity of Cuban's microphone, which led to this exchange between the two.
This
That
blog
mic is a
right
real
here. This
thing. It's
reaction
either
right
way
here.
too sensitive or
This channel
not.
right here.
You need to get your
all
shit together.
authentic.
I don't know. I think it's your
Everything you
weird,
see,
like,
everything
varied
you hear.
tone. Like, you go from really loud to really quiet.
Allegedly.
After this,
It's the truth.
Cuban insisted on wrapping up the interview.
Aspiring YouTubers and entrepreneurs, we
Come
will
on,
help you
chat.
start and monetize your faceless YouTube channel within the next 6
Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Help me on the
Even though they were
algorithm.
only 16
Help
minutes in,
get those
signaling that
ads
she was
off
pretty
of
much
the
done with the
channel.
whole thing.
Hit that like button, hit that
So-
sub button. You in the dungeon with your boy K.
So-
X.
Let's wrap it up
Rolling
then.
up.
In Cuban's defense,
lit.
she did try to get this interview back in line by saying she wanted to talk about her music, which was the reason she came there in the first place.
I'm dropping new music.
When?
That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about music.
That's great. Let's talk about music.
But not even 16 minutes into the interview, Cuban already wanted to wrap things up.
So,
Let's wrap it up then.
wrap it up. You want to
Wrap
finish
it
this
up
already?
then.
That's what I was
This is
talking
like
about.
16 minutes or something.
God though.
Okay, we need to cut it actually.
However,
Maybe stop
Adam
playing
wanted
chat.
to get his money's worth, so he tried to push the conversation more. And this is where he tried to get something juicy.
Cut it. I want to know more about Cuban Doll, man. You're so evasive.
Further into the interview, Adam raised a specific question about the viral lyrics from Tato's song, which had become a meme at the time. He asked Cuban if she felt accountable for any of the traction the meme gained, considering the song's timing and the public's perception of a relationship with Tato.
Okay, let me just throw this out there before we even get to the music thing.
You just want to be messy one last time.
Yeah. Shorty know I kill people. Real people.
Come on, bro.
Okay, What
Do you
if
feel
I-
responsible for that meme?
The timing of Adam's question about Tato and the people she had worked with hit a nerve. It became clear that this wasn't a topic she was willing to discuss. When Adam asked this sensitive question, Cuban seemed stunned and visibly taken back. He paused and then, with a quick, decisive gesture, told Adam he was done with the interview.
She was all that lean though.
Yeah.
That lean.
No? You don't want to talk about
We
that?
done.
We're done? You taking the headphones off?
She
Why?
didn't have a cup.
You don't like that song?
Adam couldn't believe it at first, and he even jokingly said that the walkout would be the title of the video.
Is she really gonna leave? Is this a
Double
real
cup.
walkout? Because now we get the title that Cuban Doll
But I
walks
got
out of the
single
No
cup
Jumper
today.
interview. Ooh, it's going down. You mad at me?
Adding to the drama,
Girl.
Cuban took some items with her as she left, which Adam later clarified were not his, but likely belonged to another rapper, Skinny from the Nine.
She took our purple backwoods. Those weren't even ours. I think those are Skinny from the Nines.
As the camera kept rolling, Adam reflected on the questions he had asked, noting that he had been careful not to mention certain off-limit topics, including her cage incident, which was a specific topic Cuban previously mentioned to avoid.
I don't understand how she got mad. I didn't even mention the cage.
But looking back, it's pretty clear that this interview quickly became less about Cuban Doll's music and more about escalating the tension between the two. If you thought that was bad, Kodak's appearance on Hot 97 was even harder to watch. Ebro was terrible with the guests and pretty much destroyed the vibe of the whole thing.
Yo, man, first of all, I gotta be honest, I was skeptical on doing this interview. I saw your other interviews where you was wearing like a ski mask and all that, and I was like, nah, I'm not really interested in talking to this.
Ebro
Might
then
get on the
proceeded to bring
podcast
some of the
right
legal
now.
cases Kodak had been involved in. However, he didn't react
Yeah,
negatively to any of these early on.
And I know it's sensitive, but how you feel about everything that's going on?
I got big wings, so
I'm tapping
you know
in
what
right
I'm talking about?
now.
The devil be on my
I'm about to
heels,
get
but I
on
got
the
big
channel.
wings. You know what I'm talking about?
After this, it just
tuned
looked
for
like
that.
it would be a normal interview. They talked about music, Kodak's success in the industry, working with Cardi B, and more. It wasn't until the very end when things would start to go sour after Ebro said this.
Look, man, at this point, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. You know, looking at all your cases and everything you've been through, and I know the recent one right now is very sensitive. And with respect to, you know, everybody involved in that case, you know, we can't get into details today.
And to anyone unaware of what was unfolding, what Ebro was referring to here was Kodak's essay case, which was filed in 2016 and was still an open case during the time of this interview. Acknowledging the gravity of the case, Ebro went on to say,
But, you know, we take sexual assault here serious, and we can't, you know, get into details, but we hope, you know, to have you back so we can have a deeper conversation about that because, you know, this is a serious topic and we're hearing these stories a lot.
Kodak just stared at Ebro blankly after this without even saying a thing.
Until this week, my dad did not know where he was from. It means the world to share ancestry with my dad from Nigeria.
In hopes of diverting the topic,
Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Most of all, hit that like button so we get them ads to go. Subscribe to the channel. Those ads are poof. We need 50K chat, so feed me 50K subs. In a month, we doing a sub challenge. And remember, I told you, if you subscribe to the channel and we reach 50K, we gonna have that party. We gonna throw up, man. We gonna pop out. We gonna do all of that or above. You feel me? So you know, like, subscribe to the channel. You know, that's what your boy K the fuck I asked. You know, if you ain't got you one rolled up, you better roll you one up. Cause if you ain't got one rolled up, you can't be in here. Nah, you cannot be in this room right now. You can't be in the dungeon with your boy. Man, hit that like button, hit that comment button, hit me in the chat box. I do get back in the chat box straight like that. All real talk, no BS. Subscribe. Bring 20 more subscribers over here. Tell them like the channel, man. It's a family, it's a nation. We on board. Let's go.
into something more lighthearted, Rosenberg casually and randomly asked Kodak's opinion on whether or not he thought the moon landing was fake.
One thing we were talking about on the show today that for some reason I just have a hunch that you would care about is the idea that landing on the moon was a conspiracy. Kodak, do you believe that our moon landing in 1969 actually took place?
What the fuck y'all talking about?
Despite everyone's delight here, Kodak wasn't laughing. Ebro addressed his displeasure by asking if he was upset he brought up the essay, to which Kodak responded with,
Sometimes when niggas like be going through shit, like y'all be entertained by bullshit. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. After this, Kodak told everyone to change the subject, otherwise he would walk out. But it seems at this point, Kodak wasn't the only one who was upset.
It was like, change the subject, I'm finna walk out.
What's up, finna walk out?
We'll change which subject?
Just whatever, like.
Well, no, they tried to change the subject. They was talking about the moon landing.
That's bull. too. So talk about something else.
Well, I was saying, I think
We don't have to talk about nothing else. We could be done right here.
All right, come on.
Chat. We tapped in.
That's a bummer.
Cuban dog. You about to see you get on the channel. She on the channel.
Oh no, people won't tell me
Be on my channel, the other channel, the podcast.
As Kodak was walking out, you could clearly hear Ebro say he wasn't gonna let others tell him what to do on his own show, which is why when Kodak threatened to leave, Ebro didn't even bother stopping him. The next rapper we're gonna talk about is also a podcaster himself, Joe Budden. Joe Budden is known for asking hard questions and really getting into the meat of certain topics. However, when he went on Hot 97, he found himself on the other end of the questioning line, getting asked about personal beefs and issues instead of music, which is what he was there to promote.
All right, so first things first. Joe, Drake. It all started, you wanted to motivate Drake for bars. That's how the whole thing started.
Who cares?
No, but we gotta, I want to recap
We've done this every day for however many months now. Y'all recapped it every day. Y'all know what happened. Let's talk about it.
With former podcast co-host Marissa Mendez, who, by the way...
And if you don't know about your boy Joe Budden, he got bars. It's probably why you tell me who cares. Because you like, Drake, why you tell me about Drake like that? Man, that man right there will out-rap Drake any day. And anybody got an issue with that, put your money up.
Way was in the room with them.
We're gonna talk about Marissa Mendez now. Somebody that has supported you.
Mendez alert.
Somebody who's been there for you. And that out of the blue, because of something she didn't do, you text her, you're fired. Then I call you like, yo, you can't fire Marissa Mendez. Call her. She didn't do nothing. And you never called her.
Nah.
And then you want to go out and act like she opted to just not be on the program.
Now, there's definitely something personal going on here on Ebro's part. Not only is he just asking for an answer, but the way Ebro is speaking makes it seem like he has a real personal issue with Joe, beyond just normal colleague spats, especially with lines like these.
I know you want to get up here and act like you could outdo me on this radio thing, but
it's your show, so
Ebro didn't insist on the topic around Marissa's firing though. He acknowledged Marissa, then proceeded to ask her former employer why she was fired in front of her.
Why'd you...
All you gotta do is
Oh, you've never used samples like this before. This is arcade.
Kick off the podcast.
I did not kick her off of the podcast.
What happened?
And listen, it was time to go different ways.
That's some corporate bullshit.
Now, Joe did manage to maintain a calm demeanor throughout all of this, and he do his best to revert the topic to his album.
I'm getting confused. I just want to promote my album.
But you really thought you were going to come here, we're just going to straight promote the album, not talk about the elephant in the room?
It wasn't the elephant in the room.
But it is for us.
Eventually, though, Joe had enough of all that. He admitted that the whole thing threw him off guard, only for Ebro to point out once again that he's ... better at this radio thing than he is.
Well, y'all threw me off now.
You said
he was too busy trying to dance. I told you can't outdance me, man.
You said
I said I listened to Peter's rant multiple times on 718, and now I'm dancing.
After this, Joe finally expressed how the whole situation made him feel and how unobjective the interview was.
I don't think that you guys are able to have an objective conversation, number one. Number two, this podcast conversation is not a conversation I care to have, especially not early in the morning. Number three, if Peter and or Marissa feel away, then there are other mediums for that to be discussed if it's going to be discussed at all.
Then Joe pointed out how little they actually talked about his album, despite it being the reason for him being there.
Next time I come here for an interview, send my manager the talk points. I didn't know that this would be an utter complete waste of time.
You should have known that. That's crazy. You
No,
didn't
it was
know that.
not a waste of time.
We talked about Drake for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Then we talked about the album for 30 seconds.
And we played your song.
And then we talked about Marissa and Peter.
Ebro and Peter's response to this was very sarcastic and unprofessional, using fallacies just to mock Joe.
You want to talk about beats? You want to talk about snares and hi-hats?
I want you to talk about something compelling.
You want me to pull A-Rab up and talk about the Renaissance, the MPC Renaissance?
Yo, what song are you on, A-Rab?
You like the 3000?
Let's talk software.
Renaissance, which one? You got the new plugins?
You got the new plugins? Yo, A-Rab, you got the new plugins? It's lit.
Yo, the bar you spit. Yo, this pattern you used.
Hey, yo, rap fans, by the way, Ebro's mocking you.
Realizing he was about to get nothing out of this interview, Joe calmly thanked everyone in the room.
I want to thank all of you for your time Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you, Peter. And thank you, Ebro. Thank you, Board Guy, for the sound effects. Thank you, Deanna. Thank you, cameraman.
Don't say thank you for the sound effects.
Shit, super producer Shawnee. Super producer Shawnee, dude.
That's how you flip out on
Thank you,
people.
Board Man, with your
cuss. You ain't gotta get
effects.
After the niceties, Joe stood up, shook the men's hands, and hugged the woman in the room. He then walked out.
What should we have covered?
I don't know. That's y'all job to talk about.
Yeah.
It's y'all job to figure out. I don't do a morning show.
We're going to become a better
Could have had a morning show.
And you did have a morning show.
Did.
At some point, there was.
Could have had a morning show.
I remember.
Oh, I helped you with that.
Oh,
when you used to lay under the cabinet right here. I used to help you.
Bye, Joey.
Peace.
Be good, man.
Yeah, we'll talk more.
He
album
big
time.
mad.
Continue, man. You good?
No,
Big mad, chat.
No, we won't.
To Joe's credit, he endured Ebro's and Peter's shenanigans for almost 40 minutes before walking out. He never lost his cool. He sure got mad, but instead of lashing out, he kept his composure and left before things got worse. However, that wasn't the only time Joe Budden visibly showed his struggles during an interview. In fact, this time, Joe even got frustrated on camera, almost to the point of being physical. The 2017 BET Awards red carpet saw one of hip-hop's most infamous interview clashes when Joe Budden, DJ Academics, and the Migos were brought together for a segment. The scene began with DJ Academics attempting to address a long-standing joke with Takeoff regarding his role on the Migos breakout track, Bad and Bougie. Academics asked,
I feel like that's like a running joke with you being left off Bad and Bougie.
To which Takeoff, already appearing slightly annoyed, replied,
I ain't left out Bad and Bougie. You think I'm left out Bad and Bougie?
Say that?
You say I'm left out Bad and Bougie?
What's that?
And it didn't help that Academics couldn't hear what Takeoff was saying. It just added tension.
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Yeah.
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
What'd you say?
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Nah. I mean, that's one thing I like about the group.
Academics quickly sensed the uncomfortable vibe, attempting to smooth over any tension by commending the group's unity and success despite occasional separation.
Because ever since when you went in jail, even though you might see one or the other, y'all move as a collective.
But Joe Budden seemed entirely uninterested in the connection that Academics was trying to establish with the Migos. Budden was visibly disconnected, his expression cold and uninterested, hinting that he'd rather wrap up the interview than engage with the Migos.
Alright, we gotta wrap this up though.
My bad.
Quavo, another member of the Migos, instantly recognized Budden's disrespectful tone and responded,
I couldn't hear anything. Close it.
Close it.
Hey, listen, man. I wish I could talk to the Migos longer, man. It's one of my favorite groups.
This abrupt statement surprised both the Migos and Academics as it cut short their moment. But despite the uncomfortable exchange, Academics tried to salvage the situation by expressing his admiration for the Migos. However, Joe Budden seemed unimpressed, and instead, he dropped.
Look, from the very beginning, football's been a conspiracy to make us hungry. So let me tell you, we're lost.
His mic and walked off without a word.
I've been covering for so long. I'm glad they succeeded.
Hey man, you guys are nominated tonight. Have a good show.
This sudden and blatant show of disrespect led to a standoff between the Migos and Joe Budden. The moment Budden walked away, the entire Migos crew rose to their feet, prepared to confront him.
Where's their security guard?
This vibe quickly became intense. Members of the Migos and their entourage closed in, making it clear that they would not let Budden's disrespect slide. Academics, caught in the middle, was visibly compromised as he tried to de-escalate the situation. However, the beef didn't end on the BET Awards red carpet. Following the incident, Joe Budden addressed what happened on this podcast, sharing his view on the Migos. He claimed,
I think I can take 2.5 of Migos by myself.
But he didn't stop there. He even took shots at Academics, saying,
Academics is one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen in my entire life. But he should never comment on anything that has to do with physicality.
After the incident, a lot of people might have told Joe Budden that the Migos are not to play with.
This is also the era, by the way.
I'm not
Everyone got a Draco. They don't want to fight.
So that's what everybody's telling me about Migos.
However, in his mind, they were just young kids that don't know better.
Apparently, everybody views Migos as very tough guys. I must not be that familiar with their music. I still look at them like the kids.
You know?
How old are they?
But that's not the last time Joe Budden got heated with a young rapper, as he would again more or less embarrass himself in another interview. But this time, Joe would completely lose his cool. In May of 2017, Lil Yachty came to the show to promote his new album. Budden and Academics sat down with Yachty to discuss his career and personal life at first. However, the interview quickly took a turn when Budden shifted the conversation from music to a surprisingly personal question, asking Yachty if he was truly happy.
I don't care about the business part. I care about how Yachty feels. I'm telling you how I feel. I'm
You're
happy
giving me
every
not stay
day.
in that facility.
Wait, say that.
Yeah,
Happy.
alright.
I'm happy every day
Niggas gonna get
because life is moving in such a positive way. I can't get slowed down.
But for Budden, his answers didn't sit right. He doubted that Yachty was genuinely happy, claiming it was just a media-trained response. According to Budden,
maybe he has been media trained. This is a very media trained answer that I'm getting.
Not a media
All right, so let me
answer,
respond
it's
to what
just
you're
how
saying.
I am.
Okay, let me tell you about how humans are.
Lil Yachty tried explaining his happiness by comparing his past life to his new one. He described how his life turned around from him being a broke college student.
When you come from a college dorm room with no money, okay, you scamming credit
Which is
cards.
all college dorm rooms.
And you ain't getting no play with no girls, you're not getting, you have no clothes, you have no car, and you come to having 3-4 cars, you got millions of dollars, $500,000 on your body just to wear, and any kind of clothes you want, any hoes you want. How could you be upset?
For him, this drastic life change was enough of a reason to feel happy. But this only seemed to escalate Budden's frustration. Things got even more intense when Budden asked Yachty a deeper question. What did he actually want from hip-hop? Yachty, laid back as ever, seemed to really not know what the right answer to Joe's question was.
What it is, Yachty?
I mean,
you don't think that's a question you should answer at some point?
What do I want from hip-hop?
Or are you leaving all of this to QC to figure out?
Nah.
Because to him, he was simply enjoying himself while making music.
I mean, I'm making music, bro. I'm just having fun. You know what I'm saying? My fans love it.
With just having fun.
However, Budden saw this as a problem. He warned Yachty.
You're gonna have a big problem with just having. You don't sound like you very aware with what's going on, and you one of the hottest niggas on earth.
What do you want me to say? You want me to say?
From Budden's point of view, he wanted Yachty to know the importance of understanding his business and the culture that changed his life.
I want you to be aware of your business. I want you to know whether you're in a 360 or not. I want you to appreciate the culture that changed your life and took you from college dorm room eating fucking oodles and noodles.
At this point, Budden was already furious, and you could even see him turn red.
I want you who's well-spoken and articulates himself well.
But Yachty kept his cool, responding calmly.
My nigga. Chill.
While Budden's intensity remained at an all-time high, in the end, this intense discussion showed a generational gap in how the two approached hip-hop. For Budden, this industry was serious business. For Yachty, it was a creative outlet and a chance to enjoy life. In a lot of cases, it's understandable for an interviewer to lead
Let's chop it up. Let's clap it up for Yachty right there. It's a come on. That's a business. You should take it serious. But it's a creative. Come on, man. It's just live life. Do you make your content? Put it out there. Don't stress over it. You see, man, got all them grades down there. That's probably because he was stressing over it. They said it wasn't the man that stress. You go back. Hear what my man Yachty said.
Budden's point of view, he wanted Yachty to know the importance of understanding his business and the culture that changed his life.
I want you to be aware of your business. I want you to know whether you're in a 360 or not. I want you to appreciate the culture that changed your life and took you from college dorm room eating fucking oodles and noodles.
At this point, Budden was already furious, and you could even see him turn red.
I want you who's well-spoken and articulates himself well.
But Yachty kept his cool, responding calmly.
My nigga.
While Budden's intensity remained at an all-time high. In the end, this intense discussion showed a generational gap in how the two approached hip-hop. For Budden, this industry was serious business. For Yachty, it was a creative outlet and a chance to enjoy life. In a lot of cases, it's understandable for an interviewer to leave prematurely because of how out of pocket the interviewer can be. But that doesn't seem to be the case with our next walkout, because all Bootleg Kev did was ask ESTG about his football background.
I've seen this picture of you at the NFL Combine.
Yeah.
Which...
What? Yeah, I ain't seen no picture of no NFL.
Well, I saw you in like the NFL Combine looking like workout.
Yeah, like a workout.
Was that just a workout you were doing for a team?
I don't know. How you see the picture? You ain't read the article that came with it?
I just saw a YouTube video where they were talking about you and like I was just watching some of your high school highlights in your college.
Now, this definitely was a harmless question.
Why don't you own apartment buildings? Seriously, why don't you own these big apartment buildings? And
On Bootleg Kev's part. He was even praising ESTG for how good he was back then. See, ESTG was a college football player for Indiana State University, and he was such a good linebacker that he was a genuine NFL prospect. However, his football career would grind to a halt after he got caught for drug trafficking.
And I was like, damn, this dude was a beast. You played linebacker, right?
What do that got to do with music and shit right now?
No, I'm just curious because I'm a big football fan. So like, I'm just like, I just I'm a huge football fan, and I find it fascinating that like you really like have like a real high level like football run, you know what I'm saying, before the rap shit like took off. So.
But ESTG would remain dismissive of the topic, insisting that his football career has nothing to do with his current music career. Noticing that his guest was uncomfortable, Kev tried to revert the interview back towards music, asking ESTG about the time he got signed. But the problem was, before he could even finish his question, ESTG had already left.
I remember when you signed with Gotti. I remember the viral moment where there was just all this cash, and at that time I feel like there was like a bidding war going on for ESTG at that moment. One, what made you rock with Gotti, and what is something over the last 2 or 3 years that you have learned?
My man walked out of there.
Even Kev himself looked bewildered by ESTG's walkout. He then closed the whole interview by saying that this was a first in bootleg podcast history.
Well, for the very first time in bootleg hip podcast history,
my man rapping.
We had someone walk off of the set. Interesting.
Crazy, man.
Oh well, there's the ESTG interview that he was 2 hours late for.
Baffling indeed. Who knows why ESTG reacted the way he did? Maybe the fact that he never made it to the NFL because he got arrested is way too of a touchy subject for him. Or maybe he was just having a bad day. To most, it was a pretty tame question, all things considered. But hey, at least it didn't escalate into anything worse. Now, while some interviewers ask harmless questions and some outright fish for controversial statements, some are just outright playful. Like with our next walkout scenario. During an interview with Off the Porch, 607 Unk talked about a lot of outrageous things, such as the Illuminati and country music.
I was connected with the Illuminati.
Oh my
The Illuminati?
Yes, swear to God on my mama.
So the Illuminati is real?
Yes, it's real.
What you mean you used to be connected? I don't think you could leave the Illuminati.
Listen, I'm the first person to leave. I made the ultimate sacrifice. I made the ultimate sacrifice and I got out the Illuminati. So I'm the first person that could speak about it. Yeah, I sacrificed my son.
Because of this feat, 607 Unk then claimed to be.
So I'm half Illuminati and half street.
Unk also claimed to have written Nelly's Country Grammar. In fact, he says Country Grammar is the very reason.
This guy said he half Illuminati. I couldn't catch it all. He said he sacrificed his son. This guy crazy, and he looked like he offered some PCP or some wet something. He looked squinting inside talking. He's gone on sudden chat.
Why he left the Illuminati?
Why'd you leave the Illuminati then?
Because I wrote Country Grammar, first of all.
Wait, Nelly?
Yes, I wrote
Country Grammar.
He laughing. He think it's a joke.
Dying song.
I wrote Country Grammar.
Considering Country Grammar came out in 2000, the interviewer was then prompted to ask how old 607 Unk was, which led to this hilarious outburst.
So, wait a minute, how old are you, Unk? You wrote Country Grammar?
Tell him how old you is, huh?
Listen, as long as I've been on this show. No, look. I've been on this show, so I watch this show a lot of times, right? I ain't never saw you ask no motherfucking body how old they is. Okay? You must try to embarrass me. But listen, I'm old enough to fuck mama and rich enough to I'm out of this bitch. You
heard me say old enough to
Now,
fuck
this
the mama
entire
and
interview
rich
is
enough
37
to
minutes
whatever
long.
else
607
said,
Unk
they
walked out 9 minutes in. Weirdly, he did come back before the interview ended, but only to shout out Nelly and to say he's never coming back to the show again. The next rapper we're going to talk about is a man who needs no introduction and an unsurprising entry into this video, Kanye West. Kanye West's interviews have always given off chaotic vibes, just like when he spoke with Piers Morgan in 2022 about a range of topics, including his apparent heritage.
I actually am a person that's classified as black. You know, I classify myself as Jew.
His divorce with Kim Kardashian.
Just to clarify one thing though, you are actually divorced, are you? Because my understanding was that you weren't actually divorced yet.
What is that, child? He what?
You know, I ask God the same question some mornings. Am I divorced, God?
Being censored by Western media.
In American media, it's very censored. It feels like an episode of Black Mirror a lot of times.
And oh, so much more. Throughout this whole interview, Kanye kept reprimanding Piers Morgan for apparently constantly interrupting him and not letting him finish his sentences.
I know. I know what you said about. I know Candace.
I'm gonna finish.
La la. It's all right. You don't have to do that. I know what it means.
La means be quiet and let me finish.
But you did interrupt my question.
So
this would happen again.
You can't tell me with your accent that me as an American Jew black person that I can.
Hey.
What if recording high-quality content, editing like a pro, and streaming like a star was as simple as hitting record?
That question.
So, on that note, chat, look. You right here, but your boy K the fuck ass. We in a dungeon. I told you, roll one up, light one up. Sit back and chill. We vibing out. Man, craziest interviews. The craziest is these rappers said on interviews. We done got into it. We did the reaction. That's enough there, you know? Like, what you think about it, chat? I feel like some of them is polished and they knew what to say and what not to say. Like Yada, he knew how to bite his tongue. Birdman, he knew how to bite his tongue because he had to walk away. You mean it felt like this. The people that walked away in interviews, except for that last dude, the top was he wrote Nelly's song. I call cap on that. You feel me? Because I feel cap on that. Like that's he got cap in his lines of talk. Like that nigga cap like shit. But chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You already know you in a dungeon with your boy K the fucking X, man. We done rocked it out. You feel me? Later up.